Hello and welcome to another Kevin Entertainment video. It's Art here with a book review for The Ghosts of Sicily by Mark Harmon and Leon Carroll Jr. It's the third book in their Ghost of Nonfiction series. I got this book for review via the publisher in audiobook format, actually. I got it for review in audiobook format quite a bit late, but I still got it for review, so that's why we're here reviewing it. It is no longer Mark Harmon, because Mark Harmon did the first two books. He didn't do the third book. Scott Brick does the third book, which kind of leads it to a fictional aspect to me, because Scott Brick does a lot of audiobooks, most of them fiction. It definitely takes away a little bit of the NCIS feel with Mark Harmon not doing the voice because of his connection with the TV show and playing Leroy Jethro Gibbs. But it's still really, really good. I like how each of the books are different, like cases and different things. Like, book one is the attack of Pearl Harbor and what led up to that kind of a thing. With the Ghost of Honolulu, the Ghost of Panama is the U.S. invasion in the 90s to take down Noriega. And this one, The Ghost of Sicily, is how the United States used Italian and Irish mafiosos to help take down the Nazis and the Japanese, all in the theater of war, including the U.S. during World War II. So it was very, very good. It's still broken up to its several parts. It still flows, and it's still a very good narrative. I think that's the structure of this series, and I like the structure of the series because the nonfiction data is still in there, but it's told in a palatable narrative. It's told in a page-turning narrative. And it's not told in a fictional narrative. What I mean by narrative is they use the facts and they support their story with the facts and with either written or the people involved having been interviewed either in debrief files or in actual news interviews years after. Like, that is just a very, very... and it lends to the history being told in a very natural way, which is, of course, by storytelling. Because remember, for many, many thousands of years, to illustrate my point, for many, many thousands of years, human history was told by word of mouth. It wasn't written down. It's only a relatively recent development that we've actually started tracking it and writing it down and keeping written records and all that. The written records help, and they help be more factual of the time. They certainly do that, excuse me. They certainly do that. But they also help in being able to flow it as though you're seeing it happen as it happened in real time, or reading about it happening as it happened in real time, or in my case, listening about it happening as it happened in real time. Scott Brick does a good job, but he just has that narrative dissonance from the NCIS world that Mark Harmon didn't have. And I guess in that case, it's tomato. But The Ghost of Sicily tells an interesting story, a story that is not very much widely known. Now it will be because of this book. But before this book was not very widely known because it was kept under wraps by the U.S. government because they wanted to go back hating the mob. Which is what happened, so I guess that makes sense. But It is a very good story. It is worth the read if you like military history. If you like even like espionage or detective fiction, you might like this series of books. Now, yes, they're all based in fact. There is no real fiction in the series. It's all based and backed by facts, but it's told in a way that a narrative of a mystery or a thriller would be told anyway. So it's told in that vein, but it's backed up by history, it's backed up by facts, it's backed up by being purely awesome. So I personally give Ghosts of Sicily a read it, own it, love it on my scale. It is a objectively, I would say it's probably a 5 out of 5, because Scott Brick doesn't really do anything bad. It's just my personal preference that Scott Brick not be the narrator of this series, because I hear him so much in detective novels. I hear him in the Jack Reacher novels. I've heard him in the Orphan X novels by Greg Hurwitz. So to me, it's that cognitive dissonance that Scott Brick is for fiction and not for something that's actually based in reality and non-fiction. So it's just too good of a book not to give it a 5 stars objectively, to be objective, because it flows, it tells a good story, and it knows how to keep the pace moving and keep the reader moving along with it. So that is where I land on that one. Leave in the comments down below if you plan on reading any of the Ghost of series or all of the Ghost of series by Mark Harmon and Leon Carroll Jr. Hopefully they come out with a 4th one. I sure hope they do. Usually takes them about a year or two, because they do have a researcher. His name is Joe. His first name is Joe. I forget what his last name is. He's been thanked in all of the books. This book is no exception. But he is very, very, very important. And he's our fact checker. So he is, what's the word I'm looking for? He is critical to the process. Even though I'd say Leon Carroll Jr. and Mark Harmon are both critical to the process, because Mark Harmon probably helps lend to it the narrative, while Leon Carroll Jr. does give it that NIS, NCIS credibility and background, being a retired agent himself and being the consultant on all the NCIS shows as well. So, with that said, though, let me know in the comments down below whether you've read or you're going to read any of the Ghost of series, the Ghost of Honolulu, Ghost of Panama, or Ghost of Hawaii, or wait a minute, Ghost of Honolulu, Ghost of Panama, or Ghost of Sicily, not Ghost of Hawaii. Ghost of Honolulu would be in Hawaii, duh. But it is what it is. So until next time, you know I make videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday at 12:30 p.m. Central, 10:30 a.m. Pacific, 1:30 p.m. Eastern. Please like, comment, subscribe if you want to see more. Please ding the notification bell to be notified when I upload a video. And without further ado, happy reading. I'll see you again soon. And peace.